everyone, thanks for joining me. This is a video response to an earlier video I made about the RP English accent, and I wanted to make this video because it generated quite a lot of comments and I felt I needed to elaborate on what I talk about in that video, because in that video I tell you that I don't think RP is a nice accent, received pronunciation. I say it's not a nice accent and you shouldn't try to acquire it. If you want to find out what I say, watch the video. And people left comments because I think they were concerned that they've learned a horrible accent. So for you, I want to put your mind at rest. And for some people, I think they were just plain wrong in their comments, so I want to address that. I don't have the words of the comments to hand, so I'm just talking from memory here. So I want to start by talking about this RP accent, because I think it's important just to distinguish really what I'm talking about. So when I speak like this in the video and I say that it is not a nice way to speak in this RP accent, which is incredibly posh, I say it's not nice. And the reason I say it's not nice is it's because it's really old-fashioned. It's so old-fashioned. Really, it is. Like 80 years old or something, this accent. That's why it sounds weird. It sounds weird now. So only older people can speak in this accent credibly. Only they can sound good in this accent. If a younger person tries to do it, or a learner of English from another country, it's just a bit weird. So what I mean by that particular kind of RP, we call that conservative RP, and it relates to the accent that older people have. So if you are learning English and you recognise in yourself those qualities of the conservative RP accent, then you've probably got an accent that isn't good if you speak like that. But here's where the confusion comes in, because a lot of people just think RP means BBC English. So if you speak BBC English, if your English is like, you know, a TV presenter on the BBC, actually you're probably okay. And here's the confusion, because now on the BBC you can watch it and actually observe many different accents. You can hear that somebody's from the north, you can hear that somebody's from Wales. Now on the BBC they don't have this policy of having conservative RP, which actually meant that the accent of the person was the same. You couldn't tell where the person was from. So that at that time there was just one accent at the BBC, but now it's not true. You can hear that somebody is from London, you can hear that somebody is from Manchester, because they allow this diversity in their presenters to reflect their audience a bit better, and that's why they've changed the policy. But what they have in common, all these accents, is they speak standard English, which means they in general speak grammatically correct English, okay? Unless we're talking about a drama where they're acting, that's completely different. I'm talking about any news reporter, any TV presenter. They'll speak standard English, which is grammatically correct, not using the double negative, for example, not using was for all past tenses. So they speak in a way that is considered grammatically correct, but they are allowed to have a different accent with it. So that's what we mean by BBC English nowadays. So can you see how it's confusing to put them together, to see that RP is the same as BBC English, because it's not anymore. So if we're talking about RP, we need to talk about that particular kind of accent, which is a prestigious accent, but one where you cannot tell where the person is from, but it reflects the southern accent and it's very posh. That's RP. But you will not meet younger people speaking in that way anymore, like the conservative RP that I told you about. But you will meet many people speaking BBC English, which basically means you can have a bit of an accent, but you must speak grammatically correct with it. What I think is the best accent, the best or the most prestigious accent these days, is a variety called Southern Standard English. So this means generally a southern accent, because in the UK the power and money is concentrated in the southeast, and this is where there are many different accents still in the southeast, but this is the dominant accent of the whole country to sound like you're from somewhere in the south. And standard Southern English is grammatically correct. And just a couple of things to mention: we make the long A sound R, so we say bath, not bath like they say up the north. We say I had a bath today, or laugh, you're having a laugh. So these are qualities of the southern accent. Also, when we say ing words, we say something, nothing, anything, but a lot of people up north say like this: something, nothing, anything. We don't do that. So there are some qualities of this southern standard English accent. But basically I've been talking from a linguistic perspective here, and I've just got one more thing to say about it. It was suggested in a couple of comments that maybe I've got a problem with the RP accent because it's related to social class, and supposedly only people at the top boarding school speak in an RP accent. Well, I have to completely disagree with that suggestion or inference, because no, it is not true. People do not speak with this conservative RP accent that I'm trying to tell you about in the top boarding schools. They do not speak like that. No way do they speak like that. I know people educated at top boarding schools, and no way do they speak like that. The only people you will find, I'll say this one more time, are very old people on Radio 4 and unfortunate people who've been taught this horrible accent at their school, and they're not native. They're the only people you will find. You will not find top boarding school people speaking that way. What else have I got to say about RP or accent? Oh yeah, so how can you work on your accent? Okay, I think you've got to keep your accent fresh. Okay, so let's say, I can't speak for all of you, but say you're around my kind of age or younger. Okay, be listening to people of the same age as you. Listen a lot and try to acquire it. And you know, now we've got YouTube, that's easier to do than ever before. So there are so many young YouTubers, you don't even have to watch it for enjoying the content. You just watch it to listen to the English, okay? And one thing I would just say anecdotally about the young people with very popular channels in England, a lot of them are quite posh, and a lot of them have standard Southern English accent. So if you follow them, you will just acquire their accent, their way of speaking, and also their language and vocabulary, the kind of slang they use. That is the best way, okay? It's not like your textbook, your very old textbook, written by some old person who knows a lot about language. It's not like that. It's fresh, it's new, it's real, it's what people are actually speaking. So that's all I've got to say about accents. Yes. See you later.